Welcome everyone to round 3 of Speed Force Racing here tonight at Season 18. Tonight we arrive in the Far East as the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix, a venue known for its unique layout and a tricky tyre wear as well, and some most iconic overtaking zones on the calendar, especially down at Turn 6 and at Turn 14 into the hairpin. The Shanghai International Circuit stretches 5.4 kilometers and features 16 corners, combining technical low-speed sections with long sweeping curves and also the standard action as well. The massive back straight headed down towards turn 14, the best opportunity to overtake as well, especially with the DRS wide open and the battery as well. The first few corners, then endless tightening right-hander as well of turn 1 is a massive test of throttle control of patience and engine braking too, just nailing it without going wide. And look at this then. So it is raining here in qualifying then, as I expected the lap times to be like a low 30 something, but we won't see that unless it gets dry towards the end. So we've got our first wet qualifying then here in SFR in China as well, and I wonder how the drivers will do. Heading in towards tonight's race, the early championship picture is beginning to take shape now, and it's all about one man so far, Jensen. 2 races on the bounce, 2 wins, and 2 commanded drives for the Alpine star. He dominated in Belgium and also the Australian Grand Prix again after breaking the DRS towards Veloce Jr. and his Ferrari teammate at the time, Mo Nemo, as well. But I don't think Veloce Jr. is here tonight, so it's Gags who is racing as he finished in P6 yesterday, and converted pole into a second straight victory as well. Veloce Jr. has joined, and his seat's been taken, so we have to take a random seat, unfortunately. But the momentum then is fully with him, heading in towards Shanghai. Can he make it a triple here as well? The last time he made it a triple, unfortunately, Jensen really went after that. He'd take a few wins now and then, 1 or 2 later on the season, but of course, he had loads of factors as well, which described why he couldn't really take part as well due to extenuating circumstances and elsewhere commitment issues as well. But Jensen hopefully stays with us full time because we know he's got the pace to try and beat some of these guys as well. So I think the intermediate compound tyres then is the tyre that everybody is going to use. So nobody thinking about the dry compound tyres. But it doesn't look too bad out there, not too greasy, but of course the track is now suitable enough for the intermediate compound tyres, so nobody should be on the soft compound tyres either. Rain really does spice things up as well because it really shows the true test and skills of these drivers as well. Where can they find the limit as well? We'll know where to push around the circuit as well without locking up, losing the rear end, etc., and getting your tyres in the right optimum working window. Of course, you could do more laps on the intermediate compound tyres as well because the tread, it doesn't heat up as much as the soft compound tyres. The soft compound tyres will overheat in a few laps time, and also you're not on battery as well most of the time in qualifying in the wet conditions because obviously not on full throttle, you're able to regenerate more battery. So these guys with their car fueled up for more and more laps, as we see Laser. Laser is usually the first one. Now it brings back so many memories. I said this last season too in qualifying. Laser is the first one out there in the Aston Martin, and he took a podium too back at the Chinese Grand Prix in season 17. He was fighting with Norris and Hazara, but unfortunately his strategy didn't work. His tyres, unfortunately, he was able to go towards the Grand Prix. I think he started on the mini compound tyres, went to the hards on that day, but on board with Laser, interestingly, DRS is still been enabled then, so the track is not classed as fully wet. As we head down in towards turn 1, this turn 2 complex, it's a long swooping right-hander here. He takes a very cute angle going towards turn 1 and turn 2, very tight on the exit indeed, but you want to go out wide there to gain all the momentum, all the speed headed down towards turn 3 and turn 4, but hesitation there as well as he fights for traction at the exit turn 5, massive wheel spin there. Unfortunate for Laser as well, trying to push the boundaries of this racetrack. Turn 5 and turn 6, then heavy braking zone in towards turn 6. This is where we see drivers might struggle for traction as well at the exit of this corner. Just be gradually, carefully got on the throttle there as Laser has done, but massive wheel spin as well. So clearly on his first lap, he's not having the confidence in his car whatsoever. Massive slap as well, so quite a few moments there for Laser as he turned out of the corner as well. We've got somebody behind him, I'm not quite sure if he's on a flying lap or not, but MDJ has opted for the soft compound tyres, which is very interesting. So is the track going to get drier towards the end of qualifying? That's the absolute question as well. Greasy conditions at the start, but dry towards the end because it doesn't look too bad out there. It looks like he's lighting off a little bit as well, not too treacherous as well. So we could see the crossover point between the softs and the inters very, very soon, but these guys are just thinking about getting a banker on the board. Of course, Laser hasn't raced in the last 2 races either, so we don't have no previous results from him. But Laser, though, can be a very quick driver on his day as well, as we've seen some great victories back in Canada as well, when he made that one-stop strategy work as well, taking those tyres for such a long stint, and it managed to get him the win of the Grand Prix, despite being hunted down towards the last stages. He's taken a few victories as well. He's been a championship contender, has Laser in the past few seasons. Last season was a bit difficult for him, of course, but here we go towards the final corner. This is going to be the first lap time on the board for Laser, and let's Let's see what it is. It's a 43.6, and that currently puts him up into first place, obviously, as the first driver to cross the line, but we've still got plenty more as well. I'm not even wearing my glasses. Let me just get my glasses on for a second. Fireblaze goes quickest as well with a 42.2, replaced by Nordus, who seems to be very good and handy in these conditions as well. Nordus does show some great race pace, and also as well, if you remember last season, it was Nordus versus Hazara for the win, and my goodness me, what a showdown race that was. It literally came down to the wire as well, to the very last second, and Hazara spoiled Nordus' dreams because Nordus hasn't won in Division 1 yet, so far in his career yet. He's still searching for his first win, got caught out in Belgium with a two-stop strategy he was forced into go into because of his tyre wear being so high, he couldn't make it towards the Grand Prix. So Nordus had to do a two-stop, and it really compromised this race as well, because ideally you want to be doing a one-stop around here. It's the quickest way to go, but for people who struggle on tyre wear as well, it's going to be a massive blunder for their race if they can't save the tyres, as we see Jensen, who just completed his first lap. 3 tenths down. Rising Star as well is on a flying lap. Harry Kane down the back straight, but he is not on a flying lap either. His teammates is Neymar. Both McLarens suffered with difficulty as well, with both making contact and losing their end place as well. So McLaren are looking for a change of fortune here tonight, as Nico Rosberg goes up into P2. President Elite is up into P3. Yesterday's race winner, President Elite, up into P3, and he's been looking very good so far in Division 2. I say that though, he has had 1 win and 1 podium, but still, that pace yesterday was formidable, and great defending too when he had Emils all over the back of him as well. Literally the same type of move with Nordus versus Hazara. Harry Kane, 59.7, obviously not a representative lap time, so he is going to go for his first push right now, and it's still raining on the circuit then. So will the conditions ease off? Will we see the soft compound tyres been introduced in this session? Could it be a one-shot qualifying where the absolute best of the track is towards the end of qualifying as well? I love to see like that, because it really does spices things and galvanizes things as well. The rain does really puts the cats amongst the pigeons as well, making people change strategy, and we see the best and the worst of drivers as well when it comes to the wet conditions, and it really spices up the grid as well in qualifying, because they've got a few people out of place as well. It may not be good in the wet or qualifying itself, but may be superb in the dry conditions as well. So who can find the absolute limit around here? As we've got Harry Kane now coming towards this middle sector. He goes there, look at that, the rear end just one step out there as he flicks it in into 4th gear, into 3rd gear as well. This doesn't seem like a confident lap for Harry Kane, because he just seems to be sliding all over the place there for Matthias, our season 15 and 16 champion of SF4, of course. What a man, what a legend is Harry Kane, and he scored loads of wins as well in 16. He scored 11 wins out of the season, which is absolutely incredible indeed from a man of his caliber as well. He joined SF4 in Azerbaijan, I remember, because he was teammates, I think, with Beremi at the time as well. So those two had a solid partnership working together, and Harry Kane's had so many great races as well in the past few seasons, and he's always been so clinical, so resurgent as well, so decisive when to plan those attacks as well, be coordinated, be calculated when it comes to race as well, because you've got to think with your head as well whilst going at full speed to know what's going to happen around you. As here comes Harry Kane towards the final corner. Let's see what this lap time is going to be. It's going to be a 42.5, and he's just on the cusp of being outside the top 10 there as well. 2 people haven't said lap time, which is MDJ and also Gags in P19. Gags is out there so far in the session, but Nordus is going quicker in the middle sector, up by 2 and a bit hundreds up there. So can he find any more time as he makes his way towards the last corner in the Kick Sauber? Let's see what lap time this is. A bit of a moment out of the final corner too, for good measure. It's a 41.3, so despite that moment out of the final corner, he's still racing the bar. But look at Nico. Nico is on an absolute fly here as well. Let's see what he could do. He might take pole, and he does take provisional pole with a 40.996 then. Great pace there. 4 tenths clear on Nordus as well, and the German driver certainly having some great confidence as well in the Haas, as his teammate Velocio Jr. is currently in P6 as well, and he took a podium back at the Australian Grand Prix for the first time in Division 1. It was a great drive from both Ferrari drivers. I know he's in the Haas, but he should supposed to be in the Ferrari team instead, so he's been demoted basically down to the other team. But look at Joram, and then 4 tenths up solid from him so far. He's currently in the 442 club, with where the majority of people are currently so far. So let's see if he can try and catapult his way up the order, and DRS is still enabled as well. So it's very weird conditions this as well, because DRS is still enabled in these damn tricky conditions as well as we head down towards turn 40. Remember the rain as well we had in 2024 qualifying when Lando Norris put out a pole? That was an sensational qualifying with like the rain pouring down, as we got Joram now making his way towards the final corner. Let's see what the Brit can do as he crossed the line right now. Is this pole? It's a 41.6. It's P3 there for Yoram, and I think he'll be happy with that one considering how his luck this season has transformed into the races too. So great effort there. Mr. Joker on a flying lap. I don't believe, well, I think he's backed off. I didn't quite catch what his middle sector was as well. Neymar in P14, a former Division 2 driver, and unfortunately as well has been caught out with the incidents as well. Getting caught up in the early melees at the start of the Grand Prix as... he'll be looking to bounce back, more Neymar in the McLaren, as we'll see him coming down towards the middle sector. What's it going to be? 3/10 up in the middle sector there for Neymar. Of course, a former Div 2 driver last season as well, and he took a win and a few podiums too with great drives back in Hungary as well. That was a fantastic drive there from Neymar. And he's being very cautious, being very tentative as well, not getting the power as early as he would have wanted to as well, to get all that momentum, all the speed down the back straight. So he's being very, very precarious in terms of when applying throttle as well. As he heads down towards the heavy braking zone, this can be very difficult indeed because you're braking at such high speed down through the gears we go and clipping the apex very nicely too. It's all about mastering traction now. The exit of this corner, a bit of wheel spin, but he can live with that as now we head towards the final corner. Where can he go? The answer is in the pit lane. He was at a great lap time as well, 3/10 up, but does he believe he can find more time as well on her new set of inters as well? Let's see if he can. Fireblaze, who finished P4 twice this season. Jensen and Fireblaze finishing P1 twice and Fireblaze P4 twice as well. So Fireblaze, his consistency has been unmatched, and it's so good as well to see his consistency because he's very consistent, but at the same time, no, not very aggressive. He's a bit too passive in my opinion as well. Just likes to sit behind and wait for stuff to happen. He needs to try and go forwards if he can. 2 recovery drives back in Australia and also at the the Japanese Grand Prix it was, or Belgian Grand Prix it was, sorry. But Fireblaze last season played second fiddle because in second place he had 0 wins but a lot of podiums. It was only a few points behind Kanaim, who only had 1 win to his name as well. But Fireblaze there, his biggest opportunity came at the I think it was at the Las Vegas Grand Prix when it turned black. Sorry about that. But we've got Fireblaze now making his way towards the final corner, and let's see what he could do. He'll cross the line in a few moments' time. Let's see where the Dutchman can place his Alpine. He goes up into P4 then, so close contention. We just saw Rising Star go up to P3 in the Racing Bull as well. Rising Star dropped backwards like a stone, unfortunately, at the Australia Grand Prix. Something about his race pace, which seems to be a recurring theme and issue here as well, because it's not only just this season, it's previous seasons as well. He just can't seem to have the race pace he needs. Maybe he's taking too much of his tyres, maybe it's a qualifying setup, I'm not sure, but he needs to change the way he approaches this because he's forced into doing 2-stop strategies. He's been left behind in the DRS trades as well. His qualifying's mighty, but something about the race pace is where he just lacks tens, which he lacks unfortunately as well in his expertise. Hurricane down in P8. We saw a sensational drive back in season 15 when he won on old intermediate compound tyres when the pack chased him down. That was so incredible to watch as well. His tyres on the verge of getting a puncture, he said in the interview, was about 86%, and he still managed to get towards the end. He lost like 3-4 seconds a lap, but the gamble was worth it as he was able to win the Chinese Grand Prix, I think 2 seasons ago now as well. Time flies when you're having fun. On board with Jensen then with the DRS wide open as the Alpine heads down towards turn 14. Can he beat? Nope, he's run out of fuel, so never mind then. He has run out of fuel, and I wonder if anybody else out there is on a flying lap too. President Elite coming through turn 3 and turn 4 right now. We're still on board with the Red Bull driver, see how he does. Of course, he joined Div 2, he joined SFR last season, or season before, and he has got some good pace in his lockup, but maybe he just needs to calm himself down as well, get composed when things happen, because it was a bit of a messy end towards the season for him as well, President Elite. But here we go, flicking through turn 6 and turn 7. I do believe as well he was up by 0.4 of a second, which is going to be very crucial for him as well in these dying stages of qualifying. We've got MDJ on the soft compound tyres, which seems to be a it seems to be a big gamble, but not pay off unfortunately for him as well. So he's down in P18, and Havish is P19 as well. Welcome Havish to the league. Hopefully you're doing all right. And let's see what you can do here in SFR Division 1 as well. A new rookie here as well. 19 drivers, which I'm very happy about because I expected the attendance to be low, considering not a lot of people like racing around this track. Oh, massive wheel spin. The car has gone, unfortunately. He couldn't brake traction, and unfortunately that lap time has been ruined. He was on course for a great lap time, 8/10 up in the middle sector, and he's dropped it. But luckily, I think he's got enough fuel left to go. I don't think he's got the time. Yes, he's got the time to do so, but what does he want to do? He's got to pit because he's only fueled the car for one lap only. So he's got to pit the next lap. But luckily for him, he could still go for it because there's plenty of time left in the session to try and make any inroads or try and get up the order if you can. Moenimo, who seems to be a very interesting star this season, 2 podiums on the bounce in P11 there as well. He's a great driver as well, and those battles he had with Boccio Jr. in the Ferrari was absolutely insane. Both Ferraris hammer and tongue with each other as well throughout the whole race, but they broke away from that DRS pack, which enabled them to fight and decide who will get in the podium for themselves. But yeah, Moenimo has been very impressive so far. P2 back in Belgium and P2 back as well last week, and at the Australian Grand Prix. There we go. Let's see what he does in his middle sector. 7/10 up, so this is looking like a decent lap time so far. But I think, to be on the safe side, find a bit more time, because I'm not quite sure if the track is improving or the drive is getting stronger and stronger, because now they know where the peak grip is as well. Nico Rosberg is currently the flying lap in the Haas as well, the young German driver who won at the Spanish Grand Prix. Here he is. Let's see what Nico Rosberg could do as he makes his way now towards the final corner. The Haas is looking really good so far. The only driver is at the 40s. Can he raise the bar again? Let's have a look and find out. Yes, he can! By almost a second, he improves on his personal best. That is an absolute flyer there for Nico Rosberg. He's almost in the 39s there as well, and that's going to be a statement for the rest of the field, and Jensen too, because Jensen is going for a winning streak, but could it be ended? It's still qualifying though. We don't know what his race pace is like, judging from what I've seen in the past few races in PSGL for Nico Rosberg. But yeah, Nico can be a very quick driver. He can also be a bit hot-tempered sometimes as well when he loses the cool, etc. So Nico, of course, still young. He's got plenty to learn as well. Burmeister up in the first sector by a 10.5 as well. So the Div 2 champion for last season, P13. It's been a quiet race for Burmeister, I dare say, in the past 2 races for the former Division 2 champion. And I think somebody else moved the order too. I think it was Mercedes. Joram goes up into P3 as well. So great effort there from Joram as well. When he joined back to SFR Division 2, he was known as spinning all the time. He literally used to spin all the time. Same as Zenon, but as the games went on, as he got more knowledge, as he did more races, he was able to adapt and learn quickly enough there to try and match with the guys at the top of the field as well. So it's nice to see his transformation as well over the past few seasons, Joram. And every single driver then should be at the pit lane to complete the last run of qualifying. And so far, I'm on board with Burmeister in P15, the former Div 2 champion. Right behind him is a championship contender from last season too, of Adams in P16. Adams lost out on a win, didn't he, last season due to his own teammate getting him towards the final corner. And that was such heartbreak there for, I think it was Adams at the time as well, because he needed wins desperately. He lost wins due to post-race penalties, and that really upset him as well. But luckily, he was able to get one at the Dutch GP, I believe it was last season. Here comes the Dutchman towards the line, but he's backed off then because I think he wants to have the best conditions towards the end as well. Maybe he made a mistake on a lap time. So who else is out there to watch? We've got Jensen coming towards the end of the first sector, and he's currently 2/10 up already in the first sector. Joram is currently not on a flying lap. Laser in P9, 5/10 down as well, but I don't think he may have enough time, I'm quite sure. Every single driver on the hour lap needs to get a move on right now because they're lacking time. So I'm going to stay on board with Jensen, our championship leader. Oh, he drops it almost mid-corner as well. And just carried too much speed that the car couldn't live with it. And his qualifying's done and dusted. Has he got enough time to get to the checkered flag? I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. He can't go to the pit lane. But I think that could be it for Jensen's qualifying then. And P2 will be his best. What about Fireblaze in the other Alpine there as well? Let's see what the Dutchman can do. But Veloci Herb Jr. is on the soft compound tyres. The only driver on the soft compound tyres. That is going to be an interesting one to watch. He's only got one lap on those set of softs, so going to make the use of it, but hopefully he's got the tyre temperature. Is it a blinder? Is it a blunter? We don't know unless we find out in a few moments' time. But Fireblaze making his way towards the double left-hander we go. We're Lawrence Stroll crash back in 2017 as we head down towards the end of the sector. 3/10 up as Fireblaze, so this could be on course for a decent spot. P2, P3 depends if the Dutchman can keep it nice and tidy and find more time in the last sector where the pressure gets to you really much, because you know that you're up on your time as well. As a driver, you want to make sure you stay in your delta all the time, and that delta can be a distraction too, because if you see you're up or down, you want to keep going as much as you can and overdo the car, as every single driver is going to complete their lap time very soon. It's MDJ, the first one out of qualifying. Jensen's back in the pit lane now. We know he made a mistake, unfortunately, and he's retired in the pit lane too. Nordis is up into P2. That's a great lap time there for Nordis. Massive wheel spin for Fireblaze as he makes his way now towards the final corner. What can the Dutchman do as he heads towards the line? Can Fireblaze take pole? He can't. It's P3 for him. Second row of the grid. He out qualifies his teammate Joram. 6,000's up in the middle sector, or down shall I say, as we've got Marinimo across the line right now. He's up into P4, great final sector. He was down. Nico Rosberg extends the margin once again. He's on pole with a 39.90 for the only driver in the 39th, as President Elite goes up into P6 there. What about Yarma? What can he do? He's 6,000 down, but can he make it the time in the last sector, which is like basically 2 corners as we make our way now towards the final corner we go. Can Yarwam climb himself up the order? We're about to find out anytime soon. Yes, he can. It's P4 for him. Here comes McLaren in the background, and that's Neymar, who's P30. What about the other contenders? Harry Kane is 5/10 up. Lasers in the background, but I don't think he's a fly lap. Maybe he is. I'm not quite sure, but we'll go back aboard with him later. Here comes the 2-time champion of SFR as well, as he makes his way out of the heavy traction. So keep it nice and tidy, but a bit of a wheel spin there. The car just complaining on traction as he makes his way now towards the final corner. Let's see if Harry Kane can do something about it. Will it be a surprise for Harry Kane as he makes his way towards the line? P4, not bad for him as well. In the background, I think Laser is about to make his way, or he's backed off. He was a 10th up in the first sector, but here comes Roger Jr. as he might get compromised towards the final corner, but he's not on a lap time. He's well off the pace there, so he won't be challenging anybody for that one. Qualifies done and dusted. That was such a great qualified as well. And Nico Rosberg on his return back takes pole position. I'll be back with you shortly to take a break as well. It is boiling in the UK, absolutely boiling, as most of you know, so very important to stay hydrated, which I do forget to do sometimes. But we should be in for an interesting race for the 29-lap race around here in Shanghai. We'll see what happens as well. It could be huge DRS trains, but I'll be back with you very shortly. It's a nice dry day here in China as well. So from the wet conditions now implemented towards the dry period, I think drivers will find it easier as well. They have new sets of soft compound tyres at their disposal just in case a late safety car comes out like it was yesterday as well. But I'm not really seeing any. There's been one safety car so far back at the Australian Grand Prix, and that's about it really. But it's going to be a spicy one heading out towards turn 1, because we can see that plenty of times people go wheel to wheel in towards 1 and 2. They constantly trade and switch lines throughout every single corner as well. I love that sequence as well. It's such amazing to watch the cars go wheel to wheel. Of course, back in 2016, how could I forget yesterday, Danny Kvyat got his nickname as the Torpedo, as he, overtook Vettel, but Vettel got spooked and went into the side of Raikkonen as well, and both of them still finished the podium too, with Kvyat P2, Vettel P2, Kvyat P3, after Ricciardo got a puncher. Rosberg won the Grand Prix, and in the famous cool-down room, you come in like a torpedo, and Kvyat says, no, that's just racing, mate. But yeah, Vettel was very disappointed because big points for Ferrari were lost as well, but he still scored at the podium too, despite that clash in towards turn 1. And also 2019, when Danny Kvyat made contact with both McLarens as well on that day. But of course, this track, Michael Schumacher took his 91st and final win around here in Shanghai as well. The legend of F1, Peter Bonnerton, has had the pleasure to engineer both of them. Two seven-time world champions, if you think about it, as well, Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. But now Bono is engineering Kimi Antonelli, and I wonder how that will work. It seems like it's working so far from both of them, but yeah, obviously need a lot more time to adjust, etc. as well. The first 2004 race here in China, and it was Barrichello who won after beating Schumacher, because Schumacher spun twice in the race as well. But Schumacher still holds a lap record around here apparently as well. But we're seeing many moments as well in the Grand Prix. Sometimes the Chinese Grand Prix was scheduled to be later on in the year, but they've gone towards the very beginning of the year as well, like they've done in the past few times. But back in 2007, of course, we saw Lewis Hamilton beached in the gravel there, and that did cost him championship that day as well. As Raikkonen won it by 1 point as well. Then 2008, Hamilton wins because we went over to Fuji, didn't we? I think in 2008, and it was such a wet race. I think Sebastian, what was it? I think it's Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber made contact as well. And of course, 2009 as well, Red Bull's first ever win with Sebastian Vettel. It was Brawn versus Red Bull because Button was on a winning streak, but Vettel ended it with his great driving as well in the Red Bull. His first year in Red Bull and his first race didn't go well with contact with Robbie Kubica. But yeah, when it's a wet, changeable conditions, this track, like any other track, it always spices good entertainment. But I think the problem is nowadays is the Formula One cars. Do you know why it's so difficult to overtake? Because the cars got bigger as well. It's the cars' aerodynamics are easily affected, and the temperatures are skyrocketing all the time. It's not about the track, it's about the cars these days as well. And let me exclude Monaco. And the formation lap then is underway, so we can see and have a gander what people have gone for. Everybody on the mini compound tyres, Velocio Jr. and Gags have both got the hard on, and they'll be going for a long stint during the course of this Grand Prix. It's going to be an epic battle down towards turn 1. I can't wait. We've seen plenty of times before. I've commentated myself where things have gone wrong towards turn 1 and turn 2 because people are desperate, trying to stick it on the outside as well, having the inside line for the next corner. But we'll see if Nico can maintain his lead in first place. Nordis is right behind. Nordis finished second here last season too, so be looking for a strong comeback and redemption. Can Nordis do it? His tyre wear might let him down as well, because tyre wear is so brutal and so high on this game as well. And it's just such a difficult tyre to manage as well, especially in the dirty air, especially if you go to long corners that take a lot of lateral load out of your tyres as well and give you more of excess temperature and more wear as well. So it's all about managing the first stint if they can. It's going to be an interesting one. 19 drivers in the grid. That's the most we had this season. Luckily, unfortunately, we couldn't make it a full house, but I think other people are still on vacation. Like it was in 2012, we got a Nico on pole, and also 2016 too when Nico Rosberg took pole. So Nico on pole here. Can he get his first win in SFR this season at the Chinese Grand Prix? As he's been so close. He took 3 podiums last season. This man has always had some great relentless pace, but just now and then he does lose his temper as well, which has cost him races dearly. He's not able to get back into a groove or a rhythm as well. That's why he's been suffering with the lack of results he should be having, but unfortunately not. We all know he's a quick driver anyway because he's a PSGL F1 is Nico Rasenberg. As all the drivers then just getting the extra bit of temperature in the tyres, then we can get going for this 29 lap race around here at the Chinese Grand Prix. I really hope it's an interesting one as well, because battles absolutely everywhere. We see the DRS trains that are formally occur around here as well, which is not going to be a surprise at all. The last two out the final corner, making their way to the grid, and this race can get going. As MDJ slots into his pit stop. Remember, Fernando Alonso picked up a, I think it was a drive to penalty for speed for jump start in 2010. And here we go on the lights then. It is 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we get racing here at the Chinese Grand Prix. Nordis immediately takes the lead of the Grand Prix as we head down towards turn 1. The current and Alpine go side by side. Hurricane, but Nordis, I think it's Alpine or Fireblaze who goes a bit deeper towards turn 1 and turn 2. Not able to get the move. Now he's under pressure from the Racing Bull right behind as well. As Yusuf has dropped down the order, unfortunately, in the Racing Bull. The yellow flags in the first sector as well. A few people having a bit of a messy start as we head down in towards turn 6 then. Heavy braking zone. Is anybody looking for a move? Yes, they are. That's right to start up the inside in towards turn 6. Can he make it stick against Fireblaze? Fireblaze didn't see it coming, but he fights with him on the exit of turn 6, heading towards 7 and 8 now. They go wheel to wheel as Fireblaze there. Can he maintain it? Oh, he does, but there's contact there between Rising Star and Fireblaze too. Rising Star's lost the place there. I'm not quite sure what happened between those two. Did they touch? It was the mirror touches if they did, but unfortunately Rising Star has lost the place towards Jensen now. Both Alpines 4th and 5th place, but the spinner, it's a spinner, Jean who has gone for a spin at the exit of the double left-hander. Oh, what a shame there. Did he get caught up with the curbs on the inside or outside as well, or pick up traction pick up the throttle way too early? But he's rejoined in the P17. Such an easy place to spin as well. The tyres just take so much energy, kind of be aware as well every single time. Here we go, down this back straight. Rising Star is putting pressure on his former teammate of Jensen as we head down in towards the heavy braking zone. As Jensen's just a bit late with the brakes there, but he goes a bit deep. And Rising Star is not able to get back through. So that's the end of lap 1. We're heading on towards lap 22 now. The DRS will be enabled, and so far Hurricane in P3 is not able to get a DRS range of the top 2. Nico Rosberg versus Nordis, and I think these two might play it smartly as well, because now they've broken the DRS, they can use each other and pull away from the rest of the field as well. Now Hurricane's lost the DRS towards Nico and Nordis. It gives them a big chance, like it was yesterday with President Elite and in Mills, to pull away and focus on their own race and worry about each other as well. So that's what they're going to do. But Hurricane is going to try absolutely everything he can do to bring that gap down under a second as well. And he's got a huge gaggle of cars up behind. Nico Rosberg super comfortable right now. He may have a bad start, but he's still got some good race pace and sticking on the back of Nordis as well. Hurricane just on the fringes there as well. So I noticed, well, one McLaren in P3, the other one in P10. I don't know what, there's a glitch going around as well. Sometimes that the second McLaren driver does not have the livery, as we saw yesterday and elsewhere too. President Elite has dropped backwards as well during the course of this Grand Prix. So where did he start actually? Started down in, dropped back massively, yeah. Something dramatic was to happen to him from P, I think it's 9 on the grid, to now P18. What a shame for him, for President Elite there. Yesterday's race winner, but now at the back of the field here in Division 1. Oh, he spins the car! Half spun the car. Too much front brake bias there, unfortunately, and it unfortunately just over-rotated the car and caused him to go in a half spin. Hurricane is a DRS range, but here comes Nordis now for the lead, and Nico and Nordis swap places there, as we see both Alpines there swap places as well. Jensen, our championship leader, is up into P4. Fireblaze let him go. They're probably working together because Jensen himself is our DRS range. Hurricane is absolutely pushed as well to get himself with the DRS range of Nordis and Nico Rosberg. And in the foreground, we can see that Jensen went off the track as well. So maybe a track limit violation there for Jensen. Maybe it was worth it. Could have been tactical to try and get that gap under 1 second. Because sometimes I think Jensen's really good at picking up no penalties. So I think he may be using one of his lucky strikes there to get himself closer. The gap is 1.1 seconds, so he's tantalisingly close there to get the DRS range of his nearest rival, which he wants to do as well. Continue his winning streak, continue his impressive perform so far, because it's been an impressive performance so far from the Alpine of Jensen and Fireblaze too. He's been a regular top 5 finisher. He's always there when it needs to be as well. But it's a one big DRS train like he was last season, but Nico is leading it in first place ahead of Nordis. Hurricane's brought the gap down. Now it's one big DRS train once again, as the guys have been regrouped together and been brought back together with the DRS. Fireblaze though seems to be struggling at this stage of the Grand Prix. He's not able to keep contention with his own teammate there. He's losing time. He's out of the DRS range, is Fireblaze, so he could be under huge pressure there by Rising Star. Those two had a ding-dong battle on the first half of the Grand Prix, didn't they, when they went side by side towards 6 and 7. But luckily, no further contact was made. Rising Star still there in P6. He's also typically as well one of those drivers that does struggle in terms of tyre wear. He's got the DRS on the back of Fireblaze right now. Fireblaze does not have the DRS. There it is in the Alpine. As Nordis there, sitting patiently in P2. He's playing the long game. Nordis knows how to do this because he's been in this situation before in the past as well. And unfortunately it didn't pay off for him either, but he knows what he's going to do as well. Probably learn his mistakes from last season, which is going to be a redemption drive in itself. A really good redemption drive as he gets closer towards the back of Nico Rosberg, of course, but not going to go for any move in towards turn 1. Just going to bide his time and wait for the perfect opportunity as well in this race. Good stuff indeed then. Fireblaze is dropping away like a stone in the Alpine. We've got a change in position between the two Aston Martins, and Havish is up into P10 ahead of Laser as well. So Laser's had a torrid time. He was on the podium last season in season 17, but here he's coming down in 11th place as well, so not the race he would have wanted. He is returning back, of course, because he missed the first 2 races. I'm not quite sure how much practice he put in beforehand. It's still a long way to go in this race though. The top 4 looking very comfortable right now. They've got their own little bubble that they can focus on. I know that Hurricane, Jensen and Nordis are in a party with each other, so it's not really good, is it, when like you've got your main competitors, your main friends in a party with you, and you're all fighting at this high intensity as well for the lead of the Grand Prix. Huge pressure going on for the boys ahead, as Fireblaze unfortunately just lost pace, he's lost sync, and he's not able to keep in the DRS range, then that's really cost him. The guys behind will be absolutely furious as well, not stay within the DRS range, because it's so lucrative. It's so important as well to stay within that 1 second range of DRS, because if you break it, then that's it for you. You have literally no chance to get back in unless the guys ahead make a mistake. But here comes Norris now, back up into first place ahead of Nico Rosberg before turn 14. He goes a bit wide. Nico comes back down the inside towards 14, but I think that one of these two is going to back out for sure, because they don't need to risk going side by side in towards the final corner unless it's the last lap, of course. But here we go then. It is a change of leadership from Norris and Nico so far. They're controlling the race. They have the priority so far in first and second place. But Nico's coming back on Norris as we head down towards turn 1, and that's a simple move up the inside as well of Norris. As long as they keep doing moves like that, where they keep trading and swap places on the straight, because if they do it in the corners, that brings the pack closer together, and you don't want that as well, because you're leading the Grand Prix, you've got a big gap behind you, and you've got plenty of chances, opportunities as well to try and win it with a big gap behind as well, knowing that nobody else is a threat. Mo and Nemo is up into P6 ahead of Rising Star, so Rising Star has dropped backwards in towards turn 1. That was, as you can see, Blotchev Jr. is still there in P8 on the hardcore power tyres. The highest hard runner so far, the only two on the hardcore power tyres, is Blotchev Jr. and Gags as well. But we've got battles absolutely everywhere. We've got different trains as well. Here we are in the midfield train, looking very good so far between these guys. Samek, Gags, Adams, MDJ, Mr. Joker, Yaron, Burmeister, and President Elite, who's still on the back of the DRS train then. So he's spun, didn't he? But he's like 2.2 seconds away, trying to get himself in DRS range. It's a long race from there. He best hope the guys ahead just start battling amongst themselves, and therefore he could try and get himself up the order as well. So there's no chance for Fireblaze anymore in P5. And the gap keeps increasing between 4th and 5th place. So Fireblaze, unfortunately, does not have the protection of DRS like the guys behind as well and guys in front of him do. He's vulnerable on the straight there, being the second lead of this DRS train. And once again, it's so close going down towards the breaker zone. It is a track killer. This track is a tyre killer as well. The left foot especially feels it in towards turn 1 and turn 2, and the high-speed corners that go with it too, and turn 13. So the left foot tyre just takes a lot of punishment. It's all about managing your left foot tyre as well. Just try to make sure you minimise the steering input as much as you can, not lock up either. And was that somebody in the pit lane I just saw? No, it's just my eyes deceiving me. So I swear I saw somebody just drove into the pit lane, but in my eyes. We always know that Hurricane and Norris always have a great battle too, especially last season. Hurricane chasing down Norris, and for the first time this season, I'm going to make the joke that Norris has got the big package right behind him. In P2, they're fighting for the lead of the Grand Prix. Or was it the other way around? Sorry, I think it was Hurricane who said that Norris got a big package, or something like that. Yeah, it was Hurricane who said that. And that was a very recurring theme since last season in 17. It was just so funny all the time. But they're about to get on the track though, and both Norwegian drivers, they're fighting with the German driver in front of us, with Jensen on the back of it, the Brit, who's going for his 3rd win in a row. But other people have got points to make as well. Other people have got points to prove, as they know that in the last few races, it's just went terrible for them. Not able to get the grip, not able to get into a rhythm or groove as quickly as they would have wanted to before the start of the season. But there's a long way to go on this calendar. You can afford to make those mistakes very early in the season, but only like in the first few races. But Norris then, as he swoops the right-hand side, he will take the lead of the Grand Prix, or his left-hand side, shall I say, and he retakes the lead of the Grand Prix once again. Mo and Nemo's right to the back of Fireblaze. Great pace from him once again as we head down towards turn 14, the wheel-to-wheel, and Fireblaze has been dropped down the order once again in towards P6, and he certainly does not have the race pace to come match with the other people. I wonder if he's starting to struggle on those mini compound tyres already. I think he's running a relatively low downforce setup, and here comes Rising Star. Will he try and take the lead into, well, not the lead, P6 in towards turn 1? I must say, look at this, might grip on the inside, he has more grip side by side. Fireblaze sees him coming, he's there, has to give him a bit of enough room as well as we head down towards 3 and 4. It's going to be a fight for traction next to this corner, but Rising Star does have better traction around the outside towards 4. He doesn't, he has massive wheel spin himself, but will he dare someone on the inside towards turn 6? Is he close enough? No, he's not. He's too far back to make a lunge in towards turn 6. Of course, another place we can overtake as well. Seen it in the past, especially with Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel as well, and Max Verstappen as well. Overtaking is a possibility down in towards turn 6. Then you should be biding your time and wait as well for the long straight when it comes ahead of you as well, because this middle sector is very technical, very tight indeed, and it's very easy to make a mistake as well. So you have to be fully aware and pay attention, have your wits about you every single time you enter the middle sector, because it can just throw you off guard just like that without even realizing. So you've got to be very careful as well, especially when the tyres get older. You don't want to take too much curve on the entry towards those corners. And I wonder then what's going to happen between the top four as they stay as they are right now. But Jensen tries the back of Hurricane. He's about to make a move. He is down towards 14. We go to side by side, but look at that. Later the brakes, Hurricane. He almost went to the back of Nico Rosberg. And Jensen takes away third place. Hurricane has got a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately, as well. He was defending from Jensen, but unfortunately went a bit too deep. And that has cost him a 3-second time penalty. So the podium for him at this stage of the Grand Prix looks unlikely unless other people around him will pick up penalties as well along the way. What a shame for Hurricane there as well. It looked like it was an immediate 3-second time penalty. I'm not quite sure if that was the case or not, because I didn't see him go off the track else. Oh, look at that. First and second lap, Hurricane's had a few adventures. So, yeah, he's basically used all of his golden tickets in one go. Unfortunately, there's Hurricane. Headed down towards turn 6 now, the top four as they are. 20 laps to go in this Grand Prix, and still Norris and Nico Rosberg and Jensen Hurricane are just pulling away bit by bit as well. They know they don't need to fight too hard at this stage of the Grand Prix. If they continue to build this gap, more beneficial for them to be later as well, having to fight without having to worry about the cars behind you as well. But it's a four-way fight for first place, but one of them is at a disadvantage, which is Hurricane, who has got a 3-second time penalty. Jensen, though, getting all squirrely out there towards turn 10, just almost dropped back in the car. But as you can see behind us, the gap keeps increasing between Mo and Nemo and Hurricane. It's just, I think it was Fireblazers one that caused the breakage in the train as well, caused them to separate as well, and now they're distributed around the circuit. And here we go then on the long back straight. Nico Rosberg with the DRS range, of course, but he's not going to go for the overtake just yet. Just going to plan it wisely as well as we head down towards the braking zone. Norris stays in the lead for the time being, and this is great pace once again from Norris. Norris has showed some formidable pace as well this season, but the only thing that's catching him out is tyre wear, as it's a massive problem on the F1 game, especially for power players like me. Jensen's lost the second. He's outside the DRS range of Nico and Norris then. Did he make a mistake? Does he have DRS on this lap? He doesn't have the DRS there, so he must have made a big mistake somewhere out of turn 14 or in the final corner, and as a result, he's dropped by a DRS range. He keeps lingering, he keeps fluctuating under a second and out of a second like a fruit machine. But Jensen then, the gap is 1.0 and he needs to get himself within DRS range very quickly to make sure he doesn't lose this battle in first and second place as well. Make sure the top two don't pull away that much, as the medium compound tyres at this stage will be starting to have the effects now and the wear. So I think drivers need to be aware at this stage of the medium compound tyres, trying to extend them as much as they can, if they can as well, to make that one stop possibly work as well, because the one stop is the way to go. But it's all about treating your tyres very nicely, not taking too much out of it in the first stint, trying to make sure that you look after it really nicely as well, as it is a fragile tyre on this track. I know some people can't help but do a two-stop, but yeah, it's just so difficult to do a one-stop sometimes with power players. It's just so frustrating because we lose the race all the time with the tyre wear being so high, and there's nothing you can do about it as well. There we go, then the top four in the picture as Laser gets a 3-second penalty as well in P12. He's in the fight with Simon Neymar, and Gags right behind him too, and followed by MDJ Adams. So that's a big scrap going on there for P12 between all those guys in the midfield as we continue up in towards the braking zone, in towards 14. Rising Star, here he is, stuck in a dive. It's the left or right. Which way are you going to go? It's right. Down he is, and he goes in towards 14, makes the corner. Nice move there for Flocchio Jr. And surely as well, his hardcore power tyres might be in a better stage in comparison towards the guys in front of him as well. So hence why, well, he should, Rising Star almost lost at the final corner, but Flocchio Jr. though needs to capitalise on his hardcore power tyres, because they should be coming towards him at this stage of the Grand Prix. So he should be the quickest one out there theoretically, but he's well outside the DRS range, isn't he, of Hurricane and the rest of them in the top four. So when are these drivers thinking about one stop? Because I think some people did it on lap 8 and 9, and it was like a bit too early. So like 12 or 13 on the hardcore power tyres should be doable and get them towards in the Grand Prix as well. Great stuff indeed then. Does anybody think about an undercut as well here in China? The guys in 4th and 3rd place think about undercut. The undercut is very powerful given yesterday's information as well. So for those people paying attention, the undercut is very powerful indeed as well. So you've got to make sure you pick the right time. And also as well, if you pit early in the Grand Prix, you're going to pay a price towards the end with the tyres constantly degrading and the guys catching you up as well. So what do you do in these kind of situations when you're stuck in the DRS trade? Take the risk and take the gamble and hope something happens. As there's a yellow flag down there. And is that MDJ or Personal Elite? Well, Neymar spun as well. As Laser spun, did they make contact? I wonder, in towards the double left-hander. Surely did they go side by side? Not a place you want to do it, of course, given the nature of the corner, how tight it is. So did those two make contact and become a copper down there as Neymar gets ahead of Yusuf, Mr. Joker, for P15? So far, every single driver is still in the Grand Prix. Fingers crossed as well that all drivers finish. As we see in the background, we can see Racing Bull getting ahead of the McLaren driver. He puts himself up into P15, does Mr. Joker. And here comes the Williams as well. Burmeister switches to the left-hand side as we head down towards the braking zone, but they make contact as well in towards the braking zone. I think that's moving on the braking there from the McLaren driver. Neymar tried to shrug off Burmeister, but it just forced him onto the grass there as well. And these guys are pitting on this lap then, so they can't continue on these medium compound tyres. It's lap 11 out of 28, and we should see the chain reaction between every single driver pitting onto a brand new set of hards or mediums if you gags, and also Vlotchev Jr. Great stuff indeed then. So interesting now how this race is going to plan out. And right behind us as well, you can see that Vlotchev Jr. down the inside in towards 6. Late breaking move there, was a bit of lag, and that is sensational there from Vlotchev Jr. up into P6 now, capitalising and benefiting most now from those hardcore powered tyres. Ahead of 5 Lays, who's been pushed into P7, not having the time of his life here, is he? As Jensen's right at the back of Nico Rosberg as well, so still got some good pace showing in the Alpine, despite a few mistakes now and then, losing the car at the exits of critical corners, and he almost lost the DRS range as well. And what's happened to Nico there? That was a very bizarre approach he took in towards the slow speed corner, or did Jensen just go out too wide? I'm not quite sure, but Nico now feels the force of Jensen right behind him, and he puts him under massive pressure, with Hurricane being the outlier with P4 because he does have a 3-second time limit. But Nico's dropped backwards, you know, in comparison towards Norris, but he's used that battery to stay in contention there of the Sauber driver. But Norris is showing some tremendous pace. Massive block up as well. A bit of a tap once and twice again from the Dutchman, from the German and the Norwegian there. Let's see if anybody fails off into the pit lane. And they do. In fact, the top 4. Oh no! Contact! And Nico! Will he back out of it? Yes, he will. Nico's backed out of it. He takes the lead. No, he's not. Norris is back up into first place. My goodness me. Pit lane shenanigans here in China. I thought that Nico was going to take the lead of the Grand Prix in the pit lane, like Sebastian Vettel did against Carlos Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg when the safety car came on that day, 2016. But wow, that was super close there. And Nico Rosberg could have put Norris in the wall, but thankfully he didn't go in the wall either. Oh, look at this. He's rejoined behind, you see, or in front. So let's have a look to see. He's still the lead car out of this quartet, it must be said. So he still leads the Grand Prix. Nobody did the undercut and overcut. They pitted at the same time. So essentially, they're all on the same age of tyres there. And it's going to be a straight ball towards in the Grand Prix. That could have been so bad for Nico if he put Norris in the wall in towards the last corner. And we see Gags then ahead of Adams. Gags once again running a decent race from a Division 2 driver who finished in P6 yesterday in the Ferrari. I didn't mention much of him, but the reason why I didn't mention much of him, because I think on the first lap he got caught up in an incident and he just went under the radar really. Came back to the field silently, but amazingly as well. He's up into P5 on the hardcore power tyres. Same with Vlotchev Jr. trying to elongate their first stint on those hardcore power tyres. Take those mediums later on, and hopefully they're better as well, and catch their rivals down. So then, Norris in P8, right behind Yusuf, so he's encountered a bit of traffic as well. You've got to be very careful when you're behind traffic because it can really destroy people's races. Of course, there's no blue flags because you're not obligated to get out of the way because you're fighting for position. So Norris needs to think about it methodically and cleanly as well, not take too many risks against a guy on old tyres. Let's see if he does make the move. He's got to do it now so he gets stuck behind him as well. But he's too far back to make it. Here he is, using the battery, and he gets closer and closer and closer, and he does it. He completes the overtake in the braking zone, level pegs him, but the Racing Bull goes deep in the foreground, and now Nico's taken away 8th place as well. In the head of us is Adams versus Gag still for 5th place, but Adams has pitted to get rid of those medium compound tyres. Fireblades has pitted too after losing pace in the first stint. I thought for sure that Fireblades would have been the first ones to pit as well as get the hardcore power tyres, because ever since like lap 3 and lap 4 he has never really looked comfortable as well, dropping backwards, not how to pace on the others, which is unlikely as well because back in Belgium and Australia he showed some mighty and relentless pace. And who's that going wide? Norris gets ahead, he's up to P3, and Nico Rosberg will follow through very quickly too. That's very important that Nico makes this move, and he does, up into P5. Just want to get stuck behind the Ferrari and therefore lose the DRS towards Norris. Now it's Jensen's turn to get past the Ferrari driver at Gags, but It's the worst place you can catch somebody, the absolute worst. But maybe not. Oh, the door's going to get shut, which it does do. But luckily Jensen there just backed out of it. You can see that Ferrari's really struggling there. He's holding him up massively as well. Look at that. Jensen's definitely get past, but the Ferrari's literally got no grip, and Jensen goes off the track once again. As the Ferrari, they're defending for all of his might. He's doing the top two a massive favour, the net race leaders of this Grand Prix. Norris and Nico pulling away. Look at the gap, 2.2. Jensen must be so frustrated being stuck behind the Ferrari driver. That's what happens when you meet people on older tyres as well. You get caught up in these situations. It can benefit some, but on the other hand, it can really disadvantage some. As we see then, Jensen fly past with the DRS wide open. The Ferrari doesn't have it, and here comes Hurricane as Jensen goes right to defend from Hurricane, but they've lost loads and loads of time as well. They have lost significant time towards Norris and Nico, and even Daniel, mate. Nice to see you in the chat. Hopefully you're doing all right. But that's hold up there for Gags has really cost them as well. So I wonder how he'll play in effect. Does he have the pace to try and catch back up? Because asking to bring down a gap of like 3 seconds, the gap is 3 seconds, it's going to be a mighty ask unless you have the pure pace. But Jensen then unfortunately is out of the battle for the time being. It's Nico versus Norris. Norris is looking for redemption after he lost the win towards Asora on the final lap of the Grand Prix, and Norris is desperate for his first win as well in SFR. It's been coming for such a long time. He's been a sensational driver and a nice character too in SFR, so one of the nicest people you can ever meet, and I really hope as well. Nico hasn't got a win either, so he won in season 15, I believe, 16 did Nico Rosberg at the Spanish Grand Prix. I don't think he took any wins in season 17 because it was a difficult season there for Nico. It's all down now to Norris versus Nico. Guess what? As well, that Velocio Jr. is first, but of course, Norris is 9.5 seconds away. So I don't think he'll catch up towards Velocio Jr. Otherwise, it'll be the Haas sandwich. And team games can be played as well. People haven't pitted yet in this Grand Prix is Gags and Velocio Jr. They're going to continue on the hardcore power tyres until they feel like it's doable now to go on the mediums, and maybe lap 16, 17, extend it a bit, maybe hoping for a safety car, but no safety car has appeared on either virtual or 90 drivers are still in this race. Laser at the back of the field, 90 plays, so it's been a dreadful time for Laser. From the highest of the podium in the last season in China to last place here in China. What a shame, what a turnaround, what a contrast there for the Aston Martin driver as well. The gap is still 3 seconds there. So Jensen, unfortunately, that Ferrari has not done him any favours whatsoever. He got caught up in traffic, and that could have been the defining moment where Jensen lost the race as well, being stuck behind traffic. Yeah, it's just one of those unlucky situations. It's so frustrating as well because you know you've got to stay within the guys ahead of the DRS there, not let them pull away and work together, as both Ferrari swap places there for P6 and P7. That should be easier considering one's on the better hardcore power tyres, but as a driver as well, being stuck behind traffic, you want to get past as quickly as you wanted to, and they're desperate as well because they know they've got to keep up, but sometimes you get caught up in the wrong places at the wrong time, and depending who it is as well on old tyres, it's just such an unfortunate situation to be in. I've been in it myself where I've been in a fight for leading the Grand Prix, then traffic's ahead of me, then they get ahead and I lose the DRS. It's just one of them things really. You can't control it, of course. It's all a part of the game. It's all about who's where at the right time as well, like what driver's in front of you to try and overtake as well. Depends where you meet them on the circuit, like the middle sector here at the here in China. It's all the race so far. I've enjoyed it. There's got plenty of more action left to come now, and it's down to Nico versus Norris then. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen because I really hope Norris takes his first win in SFR in his career, but Nico won't back down. Nico's very aggressive, as we all know, as Norris goes defensive on the inside there as well. Nico has had some amazing last lap battles as well, especially with Kaname as well. That titanic, intense battle between those two at the Japanese Grand Prix was just so sensational, as Fablaze gets ahead of Gags, who hasn't pitted just yet, so a long stint on the hardcore power tyres there for him. Velocio Jr. hasn't pitted just yet, but look at that. I think Norris has gained 4 seconds. The gap was like 9.5, wasn't it? Like a few laps ago. It's gone down to 5.7, so gaining a bit rare knots as his tyres are starting to degrade there for the Haas man in first place, going for the hard to medium strategy. 12 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. It's pretty much now a decider between these two, and it's all about who's where on the final couple of laps of the Grand Prix. We've seen in the past as well that drivers typically wait behind the leader to go for on the last lap of the Grand Prix, knowing they've got the DRS, the advantage, the slipstream, but sometimes it doesn't always pay in your favour. Sometimes it can be thrown right back in your face as the driver in front of you can acknowledge that you're going to go for on the last lap. So what I might do is save battery and use it all down the back straight as well. So there is a counter for that. Last lap attacks don't always work. There is 12 laps left to go in this race then. Volochev Jr. still hasn't pitted, and Norris is bringing that gap down at a rate of knots as well. Hopefully he doesn't catch him, and if he does, he overtakes it very quickly, because I don't want to see this race interrupted by people on older tyres. But that's he's doing a good job so far, Norris, keeping his cool, keeping his composure ever since the start of the Grand Prix. He's really turned up his mettle this season, hasn't he? As these two go side by side in towards the braking zone, but Norris has the inside line. Nico looking for the under and over, but can't get better traction, and he knows wisely as well not to go for the final corner, unless, of course, it's the last lap of the Grand Prix. So the Haas is out of the way. He's pitted off Volochev Jr. as Rise Star goes up into P7 right now. But yeah, it's just going to be about gamesmanship between these two, tactical between these two as well. And seeing who has the best IQ out of these two, who's calculated, who's measured, who's methodical in terms of the attacking and defending. We've said that plenty of times about Hurricane in P4. But with a high pressure situation, knowing that you two could be the ones to win the Grand Prix, there's only one of you that could win, of course, but you two have the biggest opportunity as well. You're going to try and do everything to get ahead or stay behind as well, or defend, shall I say. Everything in their power to stop the guy behind you overtaking, because it's a race for attrition between these two, now left alone. They're being very smart there, it must be said, because they know tyre wear is massive. There's no point fighting and losing time as well, because they've got the gap to 4 seconds. Jensen is not bringing that gap down anymore. The gap keeps extending, so that moment behind the Ferrari has been the deciding factor for Jensen's race so far. P3 was still in the cards because Hurricane does have a 3-second penalty in the race as well. Surprisingly, he got his first 2 warnings in the first and second lap. I know Norris's heart will be pounding as well, given what happened to me last season. It's a track that Norris just likes and enjoys for some reason. He does really well. Oh, Neymar spun in the final in towards turn 10. He has gone for a spin and just lost it there on traction, I believe it was as well, as he rejoins down in P16. But Nico and Norris on swap for place for the lead of the Grand Prix as Nico goes down the inside, but Norris think about doing a switch back, or he's going to stay behind. I think he's going to stay behind as well. So Nico and Norris there just trading places. It's the best thing to do, because there's no point going side by side and giving yourself more of a headache and more work to do if you go side by side, because that'll allow Jensen and Hurricane to be brought back in contention and continue the top 4 battle. So these two know not to fight too hard, unless of course it comes to the final laps of the Grand Prix, and that's when they can go hammer and target it. A free-for-all between those two, and Havish gets up into P11 ahead of Burmeister into P12. He's right to the back as well of Yarem. Yarem's under massive pressure today in the Mercedes, and here comes the Aston Martin then as he puts himself into P10. Great drive, by the way, as well. Did he start down? Yeah, started at the back of the field in 16th place, and he's up into P10. So great debut for him so far. Had a bit of a struggle in qualifying, but of course it was the wet conditions, and I don't think the wet conditions are his particular forte either. Neymar has retired in the pit lane then. The last thing that these two need is a safety car. They don't want a safety car. They don't want the pattern to be back in contention as well, and therefore has to think about behind him and in front of him. They're very happy just controlling a race like this, first and second place, keeping an eye on each other to respond and react to see what each other do. But Norris, once again, for the second time in second consecutive season in China, finds himself fighting for the lead of the Grand Prix in second place once again. He lost out last time, but can he get redemption here this season? He's got a tough competitor. Nico Rosberg is a PSG F1 driver, I believe he is, or F2 shall I say. So he's got a real strong competitor in front of him, and plus he's in esports teams as well, so he's got all the setups and all those fancy shenanigans. But Norris, he's a regular driver. He's a VMS, of course, but VMS is like a friends group team where they help each other, as Fireblaze up into P6 ahead of Rising Star. And Norris comes back immediately then, so he's put himself back into first place ahead of Nico, just traded places left, right, centre, and he's back ahead of the German driver. And I can't wait to see how it goes down to the wire between these two as well. I reckon it's going to get hectic down towards turn 14. I'll tell you that right now. Maybe towards 50 in the final corner. It's going to get so hectic. In my unbiased opinion, you guys know that I remain unbiased every single stream, but I really hope Norris wins, because he hasn't picked up a win yet this season, and I would love him to. Nothing against Nico, of course. Nico's picked up wins. He's a superb driver himself, but we'd love to see a new winner in SFR, especially as an underdog as well, who has been around for quite a long time, but unfortunately the performances hasn't been there, or it's been there often, not all the time, it must be said. It just fluctuates from time to time. As Laser's tied in the pit lane. Wow, what a shame for Laser. So his first race back, and he has retired in the pit lane then. 2 retirements in the Grand Prix, but down towards 17. What's Hurricane going to do as well at P4? He can't really do anything in 4th place there because he's got a 3-second penalty. He'll finish in P4, but a chance for a podium will be unnecessary for him. I wonder as well what happened in the first 2 laps. Did he get pushed off the track? They would have gone side by side in the first couple of laps, hence why he picked up penalties along the way. It could be a factor as well because Hurricane is usually allergic to picking up penalties, but so far in this Grand Prix he's got one. And here comes Hurricane past Jensen. He's up into P. Oh, he slides to the corner in towards 14 there, just a bit too low the brakes, and the rear locking happened as well, or the pressure got sent to the rear and literally went to put him sideways. They're losing so much time now towards 1st and 2nd place, so it's just down to these two for the 2nd season in a row. Nordis is fighting for a win at the Chinese Grand Prix. His biggest chance of winning in his first time is this racetrack last season. He missed it by 78 hundredths of a second. It came down to literally the wire as well when Hazara played it smart and did the switch back on him as well. So I think Nordis will learn his lessons and try and rectify that mistake, make sure it doesn't happen. But these two then, they know they have a big chance of winning this race as well, given their pace. Such good pace. And they've been glued together as well. Nordis took the lead on the first lap in towards turn 1. Got a much better start than Nico, but these two have been glued together throughout the whole race indeed. Just playing it very smartly, making sure they build that gap up towards the guys behind so they're not having a threat towards the guys behind. So his laser has left the session, unfortunately, on his return back. Looking at the gap's gone to 5 seconds there, so no way Hurricane can bring that gap down. Considering the tyre as well. The tyres are the same. They're the same age of tyres, really. But I bet Jensen and Hurricane, they must be kicking themselves with that Freud. Freud did nothing wrong. He didn't exactly weave around, did he? He was just on old tyres in the wrong place at the wrong time. So you can't really blame him. But Jensen would definitely be frustrated about that one. He's going for a triple wins, as in the background he has overtaken Hurricane once again. Jensen, though, could continue his podium streak in the last 3 races. 3 in a row, if he can't do 3 wins in a row. Heading towards the final corner. Once again, these two in hot pursuit of each other. And Nordis so far has the DRS at the back. Oh, no, Nico, sorry, has the DRS at the back of Nordis. We head down towards turn 1 we go. I wonder, though, who is going to be the guinea pig on the last lap of the Grand Prix? Who is going to be first? Because sometimes first is the worst place to be. And Daniel says Nordis has improved so much after the last 3 seasons, starting with SFR. He go from low divisions to leading the race in Div 1. Great progression. Yeah, he used to be a Div 2 driver all those seasons ago, but his progression has got better and better and better. He has been in contention for podiums in the last few races, but I meant last season. But he kind of lost his motivation a little bit too to race. I think we all did as well. But Nordis, when he puts the practice in, when he puts the hard work in, he can be a real threat and real threat as well for the rest of the field. It's just a shame as well, because I wish we saw this kind of Nordis in every single race, but it happens from time to time. It's not a regular occurring thing, it must be said. So I really hope that Nordis, that this race will help him build up his confidence as well. After what happened in Belgium, he had no confidence whatsoever after the Belgian Grand Prix. He was leading, of course, but he had to do a 2-stop strategy, and that wasn't the way to go, unfortunately, there for Nordis. They may be resting right now, these two, but the heartbeats will be higher, the pressure will be higher as well, and it'll be absolutely intense as well between Nordis versus Nico. It's all calm before the storm as well, and it's shaping up to be a climatic race towards the end of the Grand Prix. Nico and Nordis will go for their first win of the season, but of course Nordis will go for his first win in Division 1 in SFR, and he'll be looking to try and finally get his first win. It's been a long time coming, long time coming as well for the Norwegian driver, who's had opportunities, but they slipped away just through the grasp of his fingers there. As Daniel says, he likes this bitey version of Nordis more, please. I'm just being honest though, like, you know, I'm honest about every single driver, how they do. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and beat around the bush. I'll tell you how it is as well, like how drivers have done in the past few races. And that's Burmeister looking at the inside towards 1 or 2, but tags the back of the Aston Martin there as well. But luckily, no further damage sustained. But these two are just so close as well. Nico Rassenberg seems to have more confidence in the corners against Nordis, who has the advantage down the straights. He just seems to fly past it easily as well, does Nordis, with the rear wing wide open. He only had 1 podium last season. That was back in China as well. So that was his only podium of the season for Nordis there. As it, for the rest of it, with penalties, with mistakes, with contact with people, it just went down the drain completely. So only 1 podium, surprisingly. and I thought it'd be more than that. But the season before as well, I think season 16, when he was fighting, I think at the Dutch GP for a podium as well. I think he picked up his first podium at the Dutch GP in season 16. He had 2 podiums as well, and that was back at the, where was it? It was back in the Netherlands, it was, and also the Japanese Grand Prix. So I think 3 or 4 podiums for Nordis as well in his SFR career. I don't think he was here in season 15, was he? He was, but in lower divisions. And I don't think he actually raced in Division 1. Yes, he did actually, yeah, he did. But he had no podiums. He had loads of points, good top 10 finishes, but no podiums or wins on that occasion as well. So 3 podiums so far for Nordis in his SFR career. But can he add a win to it? It's been a long time coming for Nordis, but he's got Nico Rosberg, a high-caliber driver right behind him too, who seems to be playing the patient game, which was lacking. It wasn't really in his cool toolkit, was it? Nico Rosberg's patience. Every time something happened, he would just lose his patience and drive erratically, must be said. But I wonder if Nico's worked on his temper. Of course, he's a young driver, of course, but he's got a lot to learn. I myself, when I started league racing 14, 15, it was, yeah, I wasn't able to keep calm as well because I was so desperate. Being young as well, you want to, it's all about pride as well. And the immaturity kicks in as well. And things happen, you make mistakes as well. I made a lot of mistakes as well when I first started league racing. I lost my head quite a lot as well, and I wasn't composed at all. Every time I had a race to win, I just lost my head and just chucked it all away. And it happened multiple occasions as well. But it's all about controlling your temper. If something that happens in the Grand Prix, do you have the power to control yourself? Do you have the mindset as well to control yourself once those situations start happening? Because it'll make the best of the driver's mindset as well. It makes the best of them if they're able to stay composed and calm for the whole race, no matter what is thrown of them, like Oscar Piastri can as well. But the time is ticking out, the laps are counted down, and it's so far these two looking for their first win / podium of the season. But who will it be? Nico versus Nordis. How will this go down to the wire? What positions will they be in towards the Grand Prix? How is this going to play out? We'll have all the questions answered to you in a few laps time. Like I said, I hope that Nordis wins it. But at the same time, Nico's done a really good job too. Not because I'm biased, it's because Nordis has not picked up a win in SFR so far this season. Was he like the Nick Heidfeld of like not picking up wins with the most races? Superb job though from Nico and Nordis. Just controlled this race and they pitted, and it's worked. It benefited them as well because they had a Ferrari in the way, but those two caught the Ferrari at the right time in towards turn 6. They got past them and it dropped the other two because Jensen and Hurricane, what's happened to Hurricane? He's dropped pace. Look at that, it's outside the DRS range. He's 4 seconds away from Jensen. So that battle has been called off and over, and maybe Moanimo is a bit too far back to make any sort of impression there for Hurricane. But it's baby footsteps really, it's step by step there for Harry Kane, because he has struggled back in Belgium as well, and also, well, he wasn't here in Belgium, but Australia Grand Prix when he had a massive start with broken end plates as well, and never seemed to be in comfortable position at any point in the race was Harry Kane. But yeah, Jensen will be so frustrated looking back, and that Ferrari was the main reason. Oh, look at Nico there, losing traction. I think it's turn 14 there, so the pressure is kicking in as we're coming towards the boiling point of this Grand Prix here in Shanghai. It's been a decent race so far. I've enjoyed this race a lot, and it's unfortunately absolutely flown by as well. Every single moment has been enjoyable in this race, and Rise of Star on the back of I was about to say Finding Nemo, sorry. Moanimo for P5 as he has the rear wing wide open. Fireplace, look at Velocio Jr. as well at P8. He hasn't really made any inroads since he's been on the midi compound tyres. He's made up 2 places, but I expect a little bit more there for Velocio Jr. on the mediums, making his way through on the better tyre compound, better tyre advantage ahead of the rest of the guys. But he's got Moanimo, Rise of Star, Fireplace right in front of him. Tough competitors to get past, those 3 are. As President Leeds gets ahead of his teammate MDJ. Remember those, I think it was President Lee who spun on the first lap of the Grand Prix. And also as well, he does get past. He gets off the road there, so I wonder if it was a dive bomb from Velocio Jr. up into P7 there. And Fireblaze's misery race continues once again. Well, will this man catch a break? I wonder when will he win this? When will he finally get another race win? Because it's been like 2 seasons now. His last race win was at the Mexican Grand Prix. And yes, he was fighting for a championship as well previous season. But it was Kaname who always had the upper hand as well. Always managed to get something out of the bag every single time against Fireblaze. and he just beat him as well in terms of consistency, in terms of picking up those points he needed as well. He lost a lot in Las Vegas, and at the British GP, it looked like it was going to be very tense there between Kaname and Fireblaze, but Kaname drove supremely well to win the championship as well. I do miss him. I miss him a lot. He was a great driver to talk to as well, and a great racer. Very consistent and had a calm head about him as well. Lap 26 then. It is 3 laps left to go in this race. Who's your money on? Is it Nico Rosberg? Is it Norris for the lead of the Grand Prix? Who will take the victory? I have no idea. Literally, who will take the victory? Anything could happen. It depends where they are, though. It depends, like, if, for example, first place, whoever's first place on the last lap, they'll be exposed, but it's all about saving battery now. I think on lap 27, both of them will have to try and save battery and burn it all on the long straight. I'm very nervous, you know. I am very nervous. I was nervous last season for Norris as well, because everybody likes him. He's such a nice guy, and we want to see him do well as well. And like I said to Nico, like, nothing offensive, nothing against him. He has won races, of course. He's a very good driver himself, as Nico, very talented indeed, and he's shown us some really good races as well in the past, as Nico's always been a contender and a challenger. Yeah, made a few mistakes along the way, but so far, none this race. But Nico, still looking for his first win since the Spanish Grand Prix, I think last season, so quite a long time ago in season 16 there, as Nico had a torrid time last season as well in 17. There is Jensen in the background now, wishing he had a chance to fight for the lead of the Grand Prix, but he doesn't. He's just too far back as Norris there, late dive to the inside and covers Nico off as well. Doesn't allow him to do under and over. So I think lap 27 then is where they might want to think about saving battery. Of course, you can do it on lap 28 as well, because you've got the middle sector to put the EOS into medium or none and save the battery that way as well. But what's the order going to be like? It's lap 27 out of 28, and let's see who has the best seat in the house for the lead of the Grand Prix. Look at this, right? Nico Rosberg, right? Is that rain? Rain is on the circuit then, so it is raining. And it'll be raining for the last 2 laps of the Grand Prix, so the drivers might have to think about surviving this period as well, how treacherous it's going to be, because sometimes the weather can hit immediately as well, and it can really put people at disadvantage. And if the DRS is enabled, if it rains too much, that'll give Nico a massive disadvantage. Look at these guys going wheel to wheel as Mo and Nemo rise to start, and Blotcho Jr. goes side by side in towards one, in towards turn 2 he goes. He has the better mediums. Can he get the foot down and break traction? He loses and he squirms away, and Rise to starts fighting for traction too, but he gets back up into P6 ahead of Blotcho Jr. But he breaks later, much later, but he goes deep in the braking zone, and Rise to Star maybe back through, but he isn't. Blotcho Jr. stays in P6 for the time being. They continue their battle towards turn 7, but I think that the Hassman has it. Or Rise of Star still on the inside. He demands a bit of space and room, still being there. Oh, he almost lost the car too for good measure, as the track is getting slippery. The peak conditions are starting to fade away from this circuit. Look at this, Rise of Star fighting for traction so much, but we need to keep an eye on what's happening towards the Grand Prix, because Norris has got a 7/10 gap ahead of Nico Rosberg. And let's see then, is the rain starting to affect Nico's pace as well? Being in the dirty air, being on old hard compound tyres, not having the grip he needs in that dirty air, especially towards turn 14. He's going to have to be very careful of when he applies the throttle. But we're coming towards the last lap of the Grand Prix. It is Nico versus Norris then. And we'll see which one of these two cross the line first for this epic Chinese Grand Prix. Rain has impacted this circuit before as well in its past history in SFR. But there's 5.4 kilometers, 16 corners left to go on this racetrack to nail every single apex, nail the braking zones as well, and use all the battery down the straight. Very intense there, Norris. I really hope he doesn't make a mistake. It's super easy to do so because your nerves are all over the place as well. You're on edge all the time. The anxiety is going on, knowing that you've got a win right in front of you. It's a big chance as well. But Nico goes deep in the braking zone. As long as Norris can keep it nice and clean, and he has enough battery left in the last sector to pull away from Nico, he should be okay. So I think this is where he should start saving battery now, which he does. If he's low on battery, he'll definitely be exposed towards Nico as well. But what can Nico do as well? He seems to be struggling there in the dirty air from the car in front of him, disturbing the turbulent wake of the car and the aerodynamics. But turn 12 and 13, the long right-hander, is when both drivers will be desperate to stamp on the power as quickly as they can as well. Let's see which one of these two can get a better exit towards 12 and 13. You can see that Nico is much closer this time. Look at, massive moment for Nico. He lost the car, he went sideways, and that could give Norris all the chance to win this Grand Prix. Nico has the DRS, but he's too far back, and he messed up his exit as well. That is such a critical corner to get right. But unfortunately, Nico didn't get it right, and he has to settle for P2, unless something dramatic happens. But notice, he needs to keep it nice and tidy towards the last 2 corners, and he has as well. Wow, what a race. Last season, Nordis was defeated by 78 hundredths of a second against Hazara, but it's redemption day. Nordis has won the Chinese Grand Prix. It's his first win of the season, his first win in SFR. Fantastic, he has finally done it. He's finally got it after such a long time, 3 or 4 seasons in the making. And Nordis, it's redemption day for him as well. Fantastic, what a story as well. After being defeated on the final lap, the final corner last season by Hazara, this time Norris has kept it in control and he has done a superb job as well. Very decisive, very clean as well, and very methodical, very well calculated, and a good head as well to maintain under pressure, because sometimes when you're in that position in first place, knowing you go for your first win, that's when the nerves start kicking in. And that's when mistakes will start creeping too. And he kept the mistakes to an absolute minimum. I'm so happy for him. He finally deserves it. Very, very happy. Of course, Nico, if you have listened to this, nothing against you, mate. We just want to see the underdogs do well. Like, Nordis has been in the league for a long time. He has been struggling to get wins. He's lost motivation as well. He's been involved in a few incidents that could have cost him the win on podiums in previous occasions. But yeah, Nico, you did a solid job as well. And hopefully we can get the drivers in the podium interviews. See what they have to say. What a stunning race. Absolutely enjoyed that as well. Finally, Nordis has got his first win of the season. I'm so happy for him. And could this be the turning point now? Because he's had the pace of the whole race. He never dropped backwards as well. He has been supremely well at driving the car as well. The kick salvage, just having the grip he needs underneath him as well. Not putting the foot wrong in the Grand Prix. Not making mistakes. Like, I've not really seen any mistakes from Nordis. He kept it nice and clean as well. Of course, I don't catch every single lap at every single moment. He could have made a few mistakes as well, but he kept it clean when it mattered as well. And he delivered after losing out last season towards Hazara as well. He'll be joining the podium interviews too. He said, yes, but please not much. I want to take the shower. 35 degrees in my room. So I don't think Nico wants to ask him many questions. But we have Jensen in the party, and I'm not going to waste Jensen's time. So, Jensen, mate, welcome to the podium once again. It is your 3rd podium in a row. So you may have lost your winning streak, but your podium streak definitely continues as well. And basically, your turning point in the Grand Prix where you all lost it is basically the Ferrari, because Nordis and Nico got ahead of the Ferrari on all the tyres. That was very crucial for them. But you, my friend, unfortunately got stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it must have been so frustrating as well when you get stuck behind drivers on all the tyres when you're fighting for a lead. Just tell us how you felt during the moments.
Well, firstly, good to be back in the comms and do things again. See for yourself. But yeah, I don't know what he was doing. He was a bit of a spoon, really. What he was doing, he like more or less let Nordis and Nico through. Like, yeah, he had I think it was Nico who was the last to overtake. Just went around the outside, just slotted in. But then when I went for a move, he was just all over the place, cutting off the gap he was pushing to defend. It was like, yeah, way different. I mean, of course you could do that, but it's a bit stupid, really.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Different approach across. He's taking a different approach to a different driver, you know. So it's a bit poor. But I don't think in the end it would have affected it, because I mean, yeah, Nico and Nordis had some crazy pace. I mean, yeah, I was matching their pace for much of it, but there was, yeah, obviously some points where they were pulling away. And I don't know where I would have been, like, at the end of the race in comparison to if I stayed in the DRS, but I think, yeah, Nordis put in a crazy race today and deserves that win so much.
Yeah, he does, definitely indeed. And as well, Jensen, you continue extending your championship lead ahead of Moa Nemo and Vlodgev Jr. and Fireblade team as well, who suffered with race pace difficulties. But the next race is the Land of the Rising Sun at the Japanese Grand Prix then. So how do you think you will do on that circuit? Is it a track that suits you very well?
I've liked racing there in previous years, so I don't know, we'll see. To be fair, it's definitely one for track position, so qualifying is more or less going to make or break your race. So yeah, and I haven't really had much fortune in qualifying this year. Particularly this season SFR, obviously apart from Australia, but like the other two is P8 each time. So yeah, I don't want to get many more of those. I want to try and be near the top so I can race in the correct group.
Well, thank you very much, Judson. It's an absolute pleasure to talk to you as always. The championship leader of SFR, as Alpine continuing their winning their podium streak as well, and also leading the constructors right where they left off as well back in season 17. So Alpine are continuing there after Kaname left. But thank you very much, Judson. Pleasure to talk to you, and good luck for the next race of the season in Japan. I'll see you then.
Thank you, and thank you for the comms as always.
Anytime, my friend. And we move on to Nico Rasselberg. So, Nico, it feels like a lifetime since I've spoken to you. But, mate, you're back on the podium once again. And the rain as well impacted your race heavily because I think you just planned to stay behind Nordus as well. You were going to fight him towards the latter stage of the Grand Prix. But unfortunately, the rain came. And you know what happens with rain? Dirty air, plus rain, plus older tyres. It's just so difficult to stay within the car ahead as well. So, do you think that you should have gone for the move earlier as well? Because did you know the rain was coming at any point in time?
I mean, I wanted to chill behind because it's one of my baddest track, so I wasn't expecting to drive through away from Noldus because he's so fast on the track, it's crazy. And yeah, I planned to stay behind for the last lap, but his exit speed was absolutely insane, so I had no chance any with DRS. And then I forgot that the rain comes, and it ruined my plan, and yeah.
Yeah, what a massive shame for you there, Nico, as well. But your first race back, and you're already showing that you've got some amazing pace as well in your disposal, as we always knew, because you're a PSGL F2 driver as well. So, yeah, you got good pace, but unfortunately it didn't work out for you today here in China after that mistake at turn 13 as well. But how are you going to be here for the next few races? If you are here, how do you feel for the Japanese Grand Prix next week, mate?
I wish I can, actually, because I love to drive in this league. But I have to see.
No worries, mate. I know you got other commitments as well. But Nico, once again, good job today, mate. You did a great drive, and congrats to P2. Nice to speak to you again, Nico, and take care.
Thank you, mate. GG to everyone.
We move on to the race winner, and it is Nordus. Finally, after so many races since season 14 in Division 1 itself, not counting other divisions, but he's finally got his first win of the season. After what happened last season when he got snatched away from him in the final corner, it's redemption day for Nordus. And mates, welcome to the podium interviews, and welcome for the first time to this top step of the podium interview. How does it feel, mate? You must be absolutely delighted because you fought so hard throughout the whole race to get that win, and you should be very happy with yourself as well.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy. But more relieved than anything because it's been like every time I race, I feel like I just feel like it's been slipping away. I had, especially since last season, I felt like that was my one shot to get like a race win, at least a race win that wasn't caused by some random miracle. So I feel really relieved. Don't have to be bullied anymore for not having any race wins. So yeah, it feels nice.
It does indeed as well. And you must have been not so frustrated, but you must have been on your toes like the whole race, knowing what Nordus did as well. Knowing what Nico did. What was your plans going in towards the last couple of laps? Did you know the rain was coming itself as well? What was your plans against Nico at the time? Was it just to stay ahead and try and save the battery and use it all down the straight like he just did on the last lap of the Grand Prix? What was you expecting from Nico?
I was trying to keep him behind, especially because this game there's so much more dirty air, and I still think Nico has still think he has an edge on me even in race pace. So I knew if he got past me, even if I don't think I would have gone past him even if it didn't rain. So I was just content with trying to. I feel like my only shot to get the win was to just try and stay ahead and just. Use a lot of battery, but try and save a lot. I had to save a lot of tires as well, especially into turn 1 and turn 2 there. I was quite slow, but that was on purpose because yeah, when I did practice, I would have gotten a puncture if I didn't do tire saving. So that as well was why I wanted to stay ahead, because otherwise Nico could just keep on pulling. I'm not sure if he was tire managing or not, but I had to tire manage, so I wasn't sure what everyone else was doing. So I just felt like I could stay ahead and try and control the pace a bit. And yeah, the rain came. That was fortunate for me. I knew from the last few laps that I had quite a good exit speed out of the last turn, so I knew if I could nail it, I should be able to get it off. But hats off to Nico, he pushed me all the way. So yeah, I was really on my toes the whole race.
And this season as well, even though you haven't been lucky back at the Belgian Grand Prix, your pace has significantly improved as well. And can we expect more from you now? Because knowing what you're capable of now, and you're getting your first win, it must feel so good for a long time in SFR, and now you've been looking for more as well. So does this improve your confidence as well? I'm not going to talk about the championship because that's just too far away for the time being. But each race now, does this improve your confidence and mentality going towards the upcoming races with your pace now?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, more or less. I just feel more relieved. I don't feel like I have to go out of my way to try and grab some magical race win anymore. I feel like I can just be more content with what I'm doing and trying to don't have to be so upset if I'd had a bad race or whatever, because I feel like I've proved what I can do, or like to myself at least. I'm confident. I'm not sure if I'll be getting more wins, but I'm pretty sure I should be able to be in consistently somewhere in the top 5, as long as the track doesn't have too bad tire wear, because then I'll really struggle. But yeah, hopefully that's what I'll say.
Is there something special about China as well? Because obviously we saw last season when you were fighting against Azara, only you two, and this season as well, you versus Nico Rosberg. Is there something about China you like? Is it a good track for you in general? What's so special about this track?
I do think it's genuinely just one of the best tracks for people on controller or on pad. So yeah, I was strong last season. I was strong even the season before that. I was in that season I was like hovering around like P10ish, and in that race I was up there almost for a podium. I mean, it's one of my favorite tracks, but that is because I know I'm good at it, so it's kind of become one of my favorite tracks, necessarily because it's that fun to drive. But yeah, no, it is one of my probably my best track. So it'll take a bit more to see me on the top step again, I think.
Well, slowly but surely, you finally made your way there as well. I wondered how long it was going to take. I wondered ever if you were going to win a race as well, because I know you were lacking motivation towards the end of the last game, and you had real potential. But like you said, mistakes happen. You blame yourself or contact with other people, penalties as well when you have big chances of winning races. But you pieced it all together here today, and you definitely know what you're capable of as well. So you'll be hunting and desperate for more wins in the future. And also, notice, how do you feel for the Japanese Grand Prix, the Land of the Rising Sun?
I feel positive. I feel like on this game they've improved the track a lot, so it's quite fun to drive. How good I'll be left to see. I know last season I think I crashed on like lap 7 or something. So that was my teammate as well. So that year didn't go well, but I have a podium there from the season before that. So
you do.
So yeah, I'm relatively positive. I haven't driven the track much, so I don't know what my pace is like, but yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, well done indeed. Congrats to the top 3, and thank you very much for your inputs, guys. It's been a pleasure to talk to all 3 of you, Nordus, Jensen and Nico Rosberg, the top 3. And that's pretty much it then for the Chinese Grand Prix. Nordus has secured his first win in SFR Division 1, and it took him a long time after a couple of seasons when he had the chance, but unfortunately, bad luck just always came in his way. But his luck has finally changed, and we'll see what happens now. Let's see the trajectory of the next upcoming races. But that's it for me. Join me back at 7:30 for Division 1 at the Japanese Grand Prix. I don't know if I'll be commentating for Division 2, depends how I feel, if I can be bothered or not, or if you guys have got a commentator. But I certainly enjoyed Division 2's race with me and Milan Langer, and also today's race in Division 1 as well. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure to be your commentator. I have been Jerry Morris, and I'll see you all next week on Wednesday. Take care, goodbye for now, and enjoy the weekend.